Everybody got a plan until when the opportunity presents itself, we find a way to fumble the ball. Fumble the bag. But you know what? Before we get to that, we definitely got to give Commissioner Steele her props as far as the event she put on for the MEAC Media Day. I think that was a good look as far as where the location where they had the event. And there's a couple of things that I do want to talk about as far as some things that I wanted to see within that MEAC event, the media day that, maybe they happen, on the back end off camera, who knows? But I definitely, like I said, I like what she's putting together over there. So salute to her. If you didn't know, if you haven't caught the interview that I did with her before, check that out. That is definitely in the in the video library. Check that out. We had a great conversation during the Celebration Bowl. So congratulations to her and everything that she's been able to do over there with the MEAC as far as we're getting everything moving in the direction that it needs to go. But we got to talk about a couple of things that jumped off during that MEAC Media Day that still has me over here scratching my head, asking the question, why? Why did something like this occur? But let's go ahead and dive on in this thing. Because I'm like, Coach, I know you got something to say because we saw that tweet you put up online. Yes. I had to ask the question. I'm like, what made you do that? I mean, come on now. We're going to talk about it right after this. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap me in the free to Twitter, tell them to come on in. Start with positive vibes. We're just talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing. Because I know you're like, Coach, what's your take on all this madness, brother? Well, let me tell you something. Oh, Shady, you know you messed up bad. Oh, Shady. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Y'all stick with your coach. Yeah, I'm feeling this thing today. I'm having a little fun with it because, boy, you got some folks out here, they 38 hot about this thing. Because you don't get the HUs confused. You can't confuse the HUs. You understand? When you're sitting on that platform, that's just something you can't do. You can't do that. No, sir, you can't do that. You can't do it. Oh, my God, you can't do that. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I like the presentation from all of the coaches. I would have liked to have gotten more information as far as the maturation of their programs from last year to this year, as far as with the athletes that have come in, that they've recruited to come in and help bolster the roster so they can get out here and compete. I mean, that's definitely something that we wanted to hear. I will say this, Coach Trey Oliver. Man, Trey Oliver came in that thing with a type of swag like, yo, y'all looking over us like, we just not here. And that's cool. We got to line this thing up on the field. We're going to get that work. And my boy's going to come out here and show you what time it is because we ain't playing no games with you. And I got to, like I stated before, got to give those folks, got to give everybody their props, got to give the athletes their props. Coach Wilson over Morgan State, they had him slated to finish third. South Carolina was second, South Carolina was first. North Carolina Central was second. Morgan State was third. Coach Wilson, they always have a great defense. He's had a great defense since he began when he was coaching over at Bowie State. They was, just getting off, handling business. But when he finally got that quarterback, when he finally got that signal caller that was able to get out there, call in plays, and run the offense in the manner which they needed to, they were dangerous. And this season, we're going to wait and see if that quarterback actually has touchdown on campus or if they got something up their sleeve that's going to allow their offense to finally unlock itself where they're able to put more points up on the board, keep the defenses out there wearing them down so that when it comes crunch time in the fourth quarter, they can go ahead, finish out games and get those wins. Norfolk State University was number 4, Coach Vic, coming into his first season. We've already heard that he found his quarterback. We're going to see how that's going to go because their offense as well was a little lethargic last season as far as with moving the ball up and down the field. I think they were averaging, like 20-something points per game, if I'm not mistaken. But I do believe that Coach Vic and his coaching staff, they're going to open that thing up. The defense was definitely, above board as far as what they were able to do last season. But when you keep a defense out there on the field, as much as Norfolk State's defense was last season, teams were able to go ahead and pull away late in the fourth quarter to get those wins against them, which, caused them to have the record that they had. But like I stated before, those are the things that I was looking to hear as far as what's going on. Now, I'm gonna skip number 5, which is Howard University, because I want to save that one. I'm gonna talk about number 6, and I'm gonna go back to number 1. Number 6 was Delaware State. Delaware State coach Deshaun Jackson is coming into his first season as the new head football coach. Got to give him his props. He got the young men over there believing in the system that he's looking to put together. Same with Coach Vic over at Norfolk State University. They're believing in the systems that these new coaches are implementing for them to get out there and compete this season. Now it's just a matter of them putting it together to see exactly how everything works out with the athletes that they have. Coach Jackson was slated to come in 6th place, which is last in the MEAC as far as their win-loss shares against their opposing opponents within the conference. I do believe that Coach Jackson is definitely going to shock a few folks this upcoming season as far as what he's going to be able to do. But I think I honestly believe we're going to have to wait and see how that team has been constructed because their mentality is the same like his. It's just fast-paced. The offense is going to be fast-paced where they're going to get out there and just, make this a NASCAR race with teams where they're looking to wear you down to see just how in shape you really are. If your endurance is there, if it's not, they're just going to go ahead and burn you up out there on the field, and hopefully they can run away with a couple of wins at the end of the season. Shady McCoy did bring up the game between Norfolk State and Delaware State that's going to happen at the Link in Philadelphia. That's going to be a phenomenal game to see. I honestly believe that's probably going to be like standing room only. I believe they're going to fill that stadium up. So if you have not gotten your tickets, please make sure you get your tickets to the game because it's going to be one to see. What else we got here? Number 1, the MEAC champions, Coach Berry, going into his 2nd season with his program. He has a couple of athletes that have moved on that definitely played an integral part in that team being successful last year. One being Eric Phoenix, the former quarterback, and their linebacker, Aaron Smith, who is now with the Jets. He's in training camp right now, so I want to wish him the best of luck, and I look forward to that young man doing some great things and having a successful NFL career because that young man can get out there on that field. He can get out there. He can ball. Just want to see exactly how all of that, plays out with him and see how everything goes from there. So, hey, if you know Aaron or talk to him or whatever, hey, big him up. Hey, wish him well. Continue to keep giving him positive feedback as far as him getting out there and living out his dream, which is playing on an NFL team. And that goes to all of the athletes all of the HBCU athletes over the MEAC, as well as the SWAC and all of the other different conferences that had the opportunity to get in the training camps. You guys go out there and seize the moment and make sure you make something happen for yourselves so that you can continue to keep doing that thing that you love to do, which is play the sport that you've loved to play since you was a kid or whatever age it was that you first started playing. But like I stated before, I'm waiting to see how everything's going to work out with Coach Berry as far as with his team because, again, the number 1 signal caller is no longer there. I do believe that his backup quarterback is still there that played in Celebration Bowl. He's he's a dual threat quarterback. I think he more so will pull it down and run it than throw the ball. So we're going to see how that goes, how Coach Berry and the offensive coordinator, what type of offensive system they put together for that young man. So we got to see how all that works out. But number 5. Now, let's be real. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not see Howard University being ranked number 5 in the MEAC. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. That's totally disrespectful. Yes, they lost. I believe their quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, the quarterback transferred to Alcorn. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that the quarterback moved on from the program. If I'm incorrect, MEAC fans, please let me know. And like I stated before, I don't have a problem with saying I apologize, unlike somebody else who wanted to throw the blame on somebody else. But we'll talk about that in a second. But I wanted to say, yeah, that their signal, one of their signal callers moved on and went to another school so that he can get a starting opportunity there. So we're gonna see how all of that turns out. But one thing that I've learned in this business is this: we all got a plan until we get the opportunity, and we just fumble the plan completely. As I stated previously, I was looking forward to hearing more information about what these teams had to offer. What can we expect from the teams? Get the fans a little bit more engaged as far as everything that was going on within these programs from last season. Because again, you had South Carolina State; they were the MEAC representative in the Celebration Bowl. Howard University was the representative in the Celebration Bowl in 2023 against FAMU. And I know they were looking to get themselves back in contention to play again last season, and it didn't happen. But listening to what head coach Larry Scott had to say as far as with them having to develop the athletes, that is something that has gone away from college sports. That's not something that we really see anymore, especially since the NIL era has now kicked in. And that is something that a lot of these programs, they're still doing over the MEAC, which they're developing their athletes, looking to get homegrown talent to come out there on the field and compete when it's time for them to play games. Over at Howard University, Coach Scott made it known that they do not go get in the transfer portal and get athletes to come play at HU unless they have already graduated from the university. The real HU is what Coach Scott let Shady McCoy know real quickly, because somebody decided they wanted to say Hampton. And you saw Coach Scott sit there and he leaned back in that chair, and it's like it was like he's trying to hold his composure, like, brother, wait a minute. Didn't you just say 6 months ago you wanted my job? And you have the unmitigated gall to sit here and say Hampton University. Coach Scott, boy, had the suit on, had the glasses on. And I think Coach Scott had him a Jay-Z moment where he said, allow me to reintroduce myself. You have to understand who you're representing. And if you don't understand that very thing that you're representing, this ain't where you want to be. And he did slide it in there saying, hey, didn't you say you wanted my job? And you sit there talking about Hampton University? Me. Let me make sure I get it together. Shady, check this out, brother. Howard University is not where, I don't think they're going to want to accept you after that, sir. I think your what they call that, application, denied. Yes, that's not gonna happen, brother. Listen, look, I get the excitement when, and like I said, I'm just poking fun, having a good time with this thing right now, because again, LaShawn McCoy, him and Coach Jack, they got a podcast, 2510, where they were sitting there, talking about Coach Vic and Coach Jackson becoming head coaches over the MEAC. And, he was excited about this thing because everybody look at, becoming head football coaches at HBCUs as like the new sexy thing now because of what Coach Prime did when he was at Jackson State. But the other thing that kind of bothered me too is, if we're going to talk about the HBCUs, let's show them a lot more love than because Coach Prime did it, now it's sexy. I'm not picking on Coach Prime because I know I got some bots out there that's going to get a little upset and they going to get their drawers a little tight because I said Coach Prime in this daggone show. And it'll be okay. It's going to be all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just relax. Just woosah. But now, what I'm trying to get everybody to understand is this. HBCUs have been putting out a damn good product for a while now. Yes, Coach Prime got everybody excited about HBCU football, whatever have you. But again, you can't take away from what these other coaches have been able to accomplish. There's a lot of individuals out here now that have been putting in work. Like, for instance, Coach Oliver. You could tell by the manner, I want to say the mannerism that, he portrayed. Now, I don't want to say mannerism because that's not the word I want to use. I want to say the moxie that he had when he was just sitting there talking that talk. Coach was spicy with that thing. He was letting everybody know, hey, listen, y'all sitting here disrespecting us like we ain't really here. If I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Oliver is like the last head coach of a HBCU program over the MEAC. I could be wrong. I think it might be two other. I think it's him and another coach. I'm trying to think of. We got Coach Vic Delaware. You got him and Coach Scott. Yes, they're the last two. The last two that's over the MEAC. That's coaching. All of the other positions have been changed. Coach Wilson is going with his third year. You got Coach Berry going in his second. You got Coach Vic and Coach Jackson. They're going in their first year. Coach Oliver and Coach Oliver and Coach Scott, they've been around for a little while. So you know what? You should have been asking them questions as far as like, hey, what have you guys been able to do to really keep the relevance of your program moving where you want athletes to come over there and be a part of what you guys are offering? No, we want to skip over everything and forget that Howard University is sitting there. We're talking Hampton, at Hampton, Hampton University. And what? I'm still trying to get past it because Coach Scott was sitting there looking like, did this guy say Hampton? You wanted my job, dog. How you gonna keep saying Hampton? But I digress from all that. All I'm simply saying is that I honestly feel that those coaches should have been given a little bit more, should have been shown a little bit more love than just the fact that, okay, two new coaches coming in from the NFL, Coach Vic and Coach Jackson. I mean, phenomenal guys. They play some damn good football. I was definitely a Mike Vick fan when he was here in Atlanta, just carving up defenses. I mean, I had a joy watching that, and definitely you've heard me talk about over time. You've heard me talk about Coach Vic and his impact as far as here with the Atlanta Falcons, where you got women out there sporting the pink number 7s, the pink Falcon 7 jerseys up in the stands, and they're still doing it to this day. When them jerseys come out, you see more 7s in the daggone stadium than anything else. The Michael Vick experience in Atlanta was real. I'm just going to be honest with you guys on that, and I'm sure he's going to pop off and do some phenomenal things at Norfolk State University. Same thing with Coach Jack at Delaware State. All I'm simply saying is that I kind of wish that the interviews themselves was a little bit more in depth as far as with just getting that information from those coaches, those other coaches, to see exactly what was going on. Because like I said, it almost felt like, all right, let's hurry up. All right, I'll get to my guys now. No. Let's make sure we got everything, mapped out as far as what we're going to do. But like I said, all in all, Commissioner Stills, like I stated before, she put on a phenomenal event for everybody to, enjoy and have a good time. And those, like I said, those are just my little simple critiques. I mean, it's nothing really major. I'm not trying to tear down anything like that. But like I stated before, Shady, you fumbled bad. You fumbled bad on that one, sir, with the whole Hampton University. I'm just like, wow, that's interesting. It's really hear that pop off like that. But like I stated before, we all make mistakes, but we got to own them. You can't put the mistake on somebody else, because guess what? When you become a head football coach, or just a position coach or coach, period, if you screw up and your guys didn't do what you asked them to do, or you didn't tell them exactly what they needed to do and something went awry, guess who it falls back on? You. So, hey, I screwed up. My bad. You didn't say my bad. You didn't say my bad, but you wanted to put it on Coach Vic. I'm just saying. But anyway, guys, like I said before, that's all I got on that. I honestly feel that the order finished. It kind of went, I think the order finish kind of went the same way like how everything fell last season. I do think it's going to be a bit of a shakeup. Things could definitely change depending upon how the season goes. If a team gets on a roll and they're able to make some stuff shake. Coach Berry is now the hunted in the MEAC. I think Coach Oliver is going to be looking to try and come get some get back. He got that that seething type of tone, from the conversation that he was having during his interview. Like, hey, we coming to bring that work. Y'all sit over here sleeping on us, but we definitely coming to punch somebody in the mouth and let them know we ain't gonna take this too much longer. But I'm waiting to see how everything pans out. I think it's going to be I definitely believe North Carolina Central is looking to come out there and obliterate anybody that stepped forward in front of them. Coach Berry and the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Coach Berry has a team. Coach Berry has his teams prepared every season whenever they play. So that matchup right there alone, I think that matchup very well could be the matchup that ends up deciding who will be the MEAC champion. And we'll see. Like I said before, there was other things I was hoping to hear. As far as the growth of the MEAC, is there anything new happening? If there could possibly be a MEAC championship that could possibly go down. I mean, those are the things that I was looking to see. More conversations about as far as things being asked. Hopefully they're able to figure something out. I'm pretty sure they're like, what sense does it make to do it with 6 teams? But I'm gonna be real with you. From a financial standpoint, I think that will probably be beneficial for the institutions. And I'll go into that further in another conversation. But guys, Coach will go ahead and get up on out this thing. I just want to give my overall thoughts on the MEAC Media Day. And Mr. Shady, fumble, bumble, tumbling, tumbling. Yeah, that was just all bad. But Coach gonna go ahead and get up on out of here. But until next time, be the one.